Women, what's your arranged marriage nightmare situation? After I graduated from high school, my church forced me to marry my brother. My father had an affair when I was younger with multiple other women growing up since he was a leader in our church. It was the leading men of the church's duty to spread their seed as much as they can to spread the word of our God. So when I was younger I knew I had many siblings, but I never knew who exactly I could be related to. In our church, you typically grew up tight-knit with the other people your age, and we were supposed to refer to each other as brother and sister, though none of us were related. I actually had a couple of friends, but there was one kid that I hated most, Joshua. Joshua and I were assigned marriage when we turned 18 no matter what. Both of our parents signed papers on it when we were 10, and it was just a matter of waiting. I absolutely hated knowing I had to marry Joshua because he was the most vile person on earth. He was a misogynistic 4chan user who believed that women didn't deserve rights and that our religion was the correct one because the men of it didn't have to be tied down. He viewed me and other girls as subsidiaries and always bossed me around just because he knew he could. We went to the same high school together, and I always had to hear rumors about his other girlfriends and how he would harass and inappropriately touch them. Knowing I wasn't allowed to go to college and I had to marry this guy made me so depressed. I started eating my feelings, and before I knew it I was 200+ pounds. When I turned age 17, that's when everything changed. Joshua broke up with his several other girlfriends and started to try to prep me to be his wife after graduation. He would throw out my lunch at school because he said I needed to lose weight, and would purposely steal my phone so he could make sure I wouldn't be able to text anyone or make plans with my friends. One day I finally broke. I was in the cafeteria at school when Joshua slowly came up behind me and pinched my belly and said I could pipe in about 3 or 4 kids in there. What do you think? Before I could even be mad, I instinctively punched him in the face. When I punched him, he ended up hitting a chair and severely hit his head. For a while I thought I unalived him. I went home panicking and crying, but eventually his parents called mine and told them that Joshua was okay, he just had a scar on his head. From then on, my church isolated me and my parents were beating me on a daily basis. I was happy that I did it though. Joshua deserved it. Before I started senior year, I decided I was going to run away from home. I worked 2 jobs during the summer and didn't spend a dime of it on anything else. I devoted all my time to making money and to losing weight. The only thing I bought were groceries for myself and Obvi Elite pills to lose the weight. After 3 months of working, I had saved around $5,000 and had lost 48 pounds. When I got back to school, I saw Joshua sometimes, and I noticed a lot of people were laughing at him because of his ugly scar on his forehead. I didn't pay him any mind though. For years I thought I had to give up my body for his but I was going to take control. After 6 months I had $9,500 saved and I reached my goal weight of 130 pounds. Everyone at school was noticing that I was losing weight, and that meant word was getting back to Joshua. He tried to approach me several times and I would threaten to hurt him again so he would back up. My parents were still hitting me at home because they said I needed to make peace with my future husband, but there was no way that was happening. After 8 months, I had $10,000 plus saved, and the Obvi Elite pills worked their magic cause I was able to maintain my weight and actually tone my body. I thought I was going to have to wait till graduation to run away, but my high school actually had a program that allowed you to complete classes early by testing out of them. I studied day and night for those tests, and after 3 weeks, I had my high school diploma, a month before graduation and a week before prom. My parents were hounding me to go to prom with Joshua, and my mom even bought me a dress with a turtleneck to wear for him. I acted like I agreed with them and waited for nighttime with all my packed bags ready. At night, I took 2 bags with me, one with clothes and the other with my computer and cleaning supplies. I hopped on an Amtrak train and left that town for good. I emancipated myself in another state and I was living in a homeless shelter for a while, but eventually I worked enough jobs to get myself into community college, and I transferred my way into a 4-year with a full ride scholarship. I now have a decent office job in analytics and I have a very cozy apartment with my dog. I avoided the internet for the longest time because I was scared of how people would react to my story, and most of all I was scared of my parents finding me. But now I'm writing this because I'm scared. Every night at 4:37 a.m., a man with a beard and a large scar on his forehead keeps knocking at my door. I called the police, but they said they can't stake out for him unless something actually happens. This morning everything changed because he slipped a letter under the door and I'm scared to open it. The envelope just says J.